are now no more common than they were in 1900. No global trends in drought or in floods. Greenland's ice sheet isn't melting any more rapidly now than it was 80 years ago. That there's no long-term trend in hurricanes over the last 100 years. You wouldn't know that, of course, if you just watched the media.
So Koonin says we don't need to go to the trouble of spreading dust through the stratosphere.
It's got a lot of downsides. Right? The most important one is once you start doing it, you can't stop. The particles settle out over a couple of years, and so you got to keep putting them up there. We should not think about deploying it unless something really bad happens with the climate.
And Koonin says the good news is that a lot of the bad news you've been reading about a climate emergency is wrong. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Well, that's a report you're likely not going to see anywhere else. But what an incredible thing. Calcium carbonate, you might have taken it yourself, as it's an antacid. So the idea, let's put a bunch of calcium carbonate up in the atmosphere so that sun's rays will reflect off of it. The deal is we don't know what we're doing, and we're based on fear-based decisions are never good decisions. So can we come to some agreement of what to do? Is there an increase in carbon in the atmosphere again? I think the science is quite clear. Yes, there is. There's been an observatory in Hawaii that's been measuring carbon dioxide since 1958, and yes, carbon dioxide's going up. What's the way to deal with that? Well, try to find carbon sinks, try to find scrubbers at smokestacks and those kinds of things. And how could that work? But to do this kind of experiment where you don't know what can happen, are we unleashing things that we can't get back? And what does that do to the environment? And specifically, what would it do to a region of the Earth that now has sunlight blocked, and you haven't done it over the whole Earth, so you're going to have these mini winters in particular regions. It just doesn't make any sense to me to even experiment with this.